Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. The next video I'm going to show you was just released about 3 or 4 hours ago by a content creator that goes by Jesse G. Wald, W-A-L-D. He got a drone over the burn zone. Supposedly the no-fly zone for drones has been lifted the past couple of days. That seems like news that nobody really heard about, at least from what I know. But I want everybody to pay close attention. I'm going to give my thoughts on what we're going to see. And it's exactly what I suspected. I suspected that they were going to clean this place up. And in my opinion, it was basically to get rid of evidence. So before I start the video, I want to thank all my new subscribers. Woke up this morning to 4 new subscribers. That was great. And I want to thank everybody for watching my content, for supporting the channel. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and keep the subscriptions coming, please. If you could tell your family and friends so we can keep this channel going, keep spreading awareness, you know. I think that everybody should take part in that. And as like I always say, you know, whoever doesn't want to, that's fine, that's your right, you know. But if we stay complacent, especially in situations like this, it's gonna keep happening. And just because it didn't happen to any of us personally, you know, it doesn't mean that it, you know, that it can't. So that's why we got to keep, you know, we got to stay strong. And like I say in all my videos, you know, we got to stay vigilant. Okay, so without further ado, let's get this video going. I'm gonna let him, he's gonna narrate. It's his video. I'm just gonna stop and point certain things out for everyone to watch. So here we go.
Hey, aloha everyone. So a few days after the Lahaina fire, there was a no-fly zone that was imposed over the burn area. Now in the last couple days, that no-fly zone has gone away. So I figured today would be a good day to get the drone up in the air and see exactly what Lahaina looks like about 6 weeks after the fire.
Now I'm going to stop real quick right here. On yesterday's video when I was talking about when there's a fire or some sort of disaster where there's people have perished, there's usually, they'll mark spots where they found bodies. So you'll see this car right here, there's an X on it, like I explained yesterday. Which, in my opinion, that means that there was a driver. Okay, they'll usually put an X on the side or on the back. And just so you guys know, there's one right there on this car. So I don't know if he understands that. Maybe he doesn't. I would not be, you know, it would bother me to stand so close to that. You know, that's just me personally, but. Just so you guys know, I thought I'd point that out. But let's continue.
Let's take a look. For point of reference, we're going to start from my house, which is located in a neighborhood called
Now I'm gonna stop right here again because as soon as he raised the drone, I already noticed it. And as you can see down here, you already see the piles. As soon as he picked up this drone, I seen it. You see all the piles, which means they were moving stuff around, just piling everything up. But let's continue.
Kahoma Village, and it's right in the center of the disaster area. I did already do a couple videos showing what my neighborhood and all the neighborhoods around it looked like from the ground. So right now we're flying over the Front Street apartments, headed towards Front Street itself. We're coming up on the intersection of Baker Street and Front Street, and about to fly over what is left of the Lahaina United Methodist Church.
Okay, see that? It's all cleared up. A couple of piles cleared up. The streets are clear. This section right down there, that's where all the cars were piled up. Clean. Every car gone. What gets me, I don't know if anybody's put any video out. I haven't seen it. I haven't heard of anybody saying that they've seen trucks coming out Okay. Um, I haven't heard of anybody saying that they seen flatbeds coming out with those vehicles. Okay, which tells me, and I'm gonna add something else to it in a few, that if nobody's seen them pulling these cars out onto the main roads, that means most of this cleanup was done from the water. And I think that's why that barrier was mostly up. Not because of what some content creators are saying, it was to stop dust and all that coming up. I'm not believing that. I think that from a certain vantage point, nobody could see as you're closer up, whichever way that black fence is, nobody could see where exactly they were taking these vehicles. Now, like I said, it may be wrong. They probably could have been coming out, from a certain area on the highway and all that. But where are all the cars? You see that? But let's continue. Look at that.
Now we're coming up on the outlets of Maui, and in particular, one of the buildings that had Waikiki Brewery and Tommy Bahama Restaurant.
Look how clean everything is. As if everything's swept up. Everything's blown. Like
This is the intersection of
leaf
Papalau
blowers.
Street and Front Street, where you can find what was once Bubba Gump's on the ocean side and the Longy building across the street.
See the piles? They moved everything around into piles. I bring it up because, it's sad to think that if there was any remains, they got rid of them, number one. If there wasn't any remains, as far as and I'm trying to be careful because of the sensitivity of it all. In other words, if people were cremated like they said, I mean, you guys can use your judgment what I'm trying to say. If there was any hope, if there was any big remains, obviously they got it, okay? If anything else was cremated, I mean, they cleaned up, okay? They basically cleaned up, but let's continue. You can see right there, it's just piles.
The next landmark we're coming up on is the intersection of Lahaina
See
Luna
piles,
Road and Front
piles.
Street. And it's
See
also
all the
where you can
piles?
find Cheeseburger in Paradise
If you
at
follow
the
my
beginning
green
of
mouse,
this beach.
see, it's like they bulldozed everything. They just moved everything, made piles. And look at everything's clean. If I have to guess, all this is where there was cars at. The oil and stuff like that.
And as you can see at the top of your screen, now we're coming up on the Lahaina Harbor.
Now you'll see
This is
something
just
interesting.
about as far as my drone can.
I'm sorry, I'm talking over him. You'll see something interesting when he turns the camera coming back towards us, basically. I'll point it out.
Fly. So I increased the altitude so you could see all the way past Lahaina shores down to Puamana. From here, we're going to spin around and start heading down Front Street in the other direction. This is a clean shot flying directly over Lahaina Harbor and the banyan tree.
Now, is anybody noticing anything? You don't see anybody out there. No workers. No emergency crews, nothing. No boots on the ground. Nothing. And I'll explain in a minute. In a few minutes, I should say.
From this angle, you can see several blocks up the mountain. And at the top of the screen, you can see Kaanapali off in the distance.
Again, I'm going to keep pointing it out. See the piles? See the way they scooted everything over? See that? There's piles everywhere. They basically rummaged through everything, cleaned it all out. Look at that. Just piles. All around.
And at the top right of your screen, you can see the Pioneer Mill smokestack on Lahaina Luna Road.
Now, just for reference, telephone pole, electrical pole, electrical pole, electrical pole. You're going to see a lot of them. Look at the way they cleaned this up and just put piles of everything. Look at that. That's interesting right there, that building. Could have been something out there that exploded and burnt it. But that right there, people, is kind of strange, in my opinion. Out of all the buildings that we've seen burnt, what can burn that right there? But yet there's nothing down here burnt. If it was something big that was on fire, you would think, okay, now pay close attention to what I'm saying. It's the little details nobody's looking at. You would think that something would be burnt on the pavement down here. Obviously, it might have been an explosion, don't know, but if it was from the inside, this will probably be blown out. If there was a fire on the inside, that's a possibility. It all burnt up. That to me just looks a little strange. I'm not going to put my 2 cents into that. I think that anybody watching this video would basically, great minds think alike, okay? And I believe there's another one, but let's continue with this.
Coming into the center of your screen now, you can see the Foodland building, and it looks like it mostly survived the fire.
Okay, you see that house right there burnt? Something on there obviously burnt. You see what I'm saying? As opposed to the last house, the last building, I should say. It's just little strange things. But again, here's all the piles. They moved everything out. Basically sifted through, pushed everything in piles. Who knows, shoveled it, pushed it, used whatever equipment they did, I guess. But it's like that throughout the whole thing.
Now we're coming up on Papalau Street again, and you can see more of the outlet mall.
Has anybody noticed, which I did bring it up, all the cars just gone? Now there's one vehicle moving. I don't know who that is. But this was the main
At the top of the
strip.
screen, you can see we're coming up on my neighborhood again, Kahoma Village, and
I'm going to pause it right here. This was the main strip where all the cars were trapped. Right here.
to the left of the screen is Baby Beach.
And what I find strange is all the cars on my last video that I showed that were going up this way, and all the cars were backing up this way. They left these cars here. But if you see my last video, you'll see that this is where all the cars were piled up and all this was empty. But they basically cleaned up the power lines that were down on the side. They did a major cleanup. And that was their intention. Okay? Now some people may say, well, they had to, move things around, put things in piles. Understandable. But let's continue.
I think this shot really demonstrates how amazing it was that Kahoma Village mostly survived the fire when it was right in the center of all the devastation. From here, we're going to spin around and start heading up the mountain towards the Lahaina Luna neighborhood. Right now, you're looking at the Opakea condo complex, where Choice Health Bar was, Taco Bell Pizza Hut, and the Mind's Eye interiors.
To look at all this drone footage, to see something, so much devastation.
We'll continue to head up the hill towards the Lahaina Luna neighborhood.
And then the way they went around cleaning up there's only one thing that comes to mind, which is suspect to me now. And this is where people need to understand that this was, I want to say, this had to be in some way, shape, or form planned, and I'll tell you why. Okay. Sometime last week or a week and a half ago, I put out a video where someone from the military during one of the conferences stepped up and had to put his 2 cents in. And I always found this suspect. Why was the military involved when all this first started? Okay, why did they have to send somebody from the military, a spokesperson? But he said what he had to say. He was standoffish with somebody asking him questions, which doesn't surprise me because, the mayor has been standoffish, the police chief, police officers, the governor, to a certain extent. It didn't surprise me that whatever general major, I think he addressed himself as, was standoffish with people asking questions. The only way to do, and it's only been 6 weeks, okay? As per the person making the video, he says it's been 6 weeks. And, for a major cleanup like that to happen, it could only be with military intervention. I don't care what anybody says. Okay? Has anybody noticed throughout the whole video? Any personnel, anything out there? Nothing. No trucks, no military, fire department, police department, detectives, all them SUVs, nothing. Not one person. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Where's the black fence? All along there. Which went up in a day or two, and then they just kept putting up, as it wasn't to the spots that wasn't so obvious. Okay? Now, I don't know this area, what comes off the water, like if you're coming from the water, bringing stuff in, I don't know where you would dock. Okay? Obviously, they didn't use helicopters because that would have been easy to spot from any part of the island where people could have videotaped it. So, in my opinion, again, if there's anybody out there that has the video or has, actual word that says they seen trucks leaving, I'd like to know. If they said they seen flatbeds with all the burnt vehicles, I'd like to know. If nobody has any of that, that means they took everything out by water, which means they basically they pulled another fast one like they did for 9/11. Where they were coming in, cleaning the place up, dumping it in trucks, and just shipping it off straight to China. Because they said that they were the only ones that can handle such a big load of material in order to recycle it fast enough. There was a lot of scrutiny over that because they were like, you're taking evidence from a crime scene. And all this has the earmarks of a cover-up. Taking all the evidence, getting it off the island, or as much evidence as you can. You can't move the whole building. You don't want that. You're just going to try to take out whatever it is that you can, especially when it comes to vehicles and stuff like that. Okay? Now, why they left certain things on this side, I have no idea. Some people may say, well, they're coming back. They haven't finished. So, you're talking like you're a conspiracy theorist. That, that's fine. You could think that or whatever. But here's the thing. Like I just said, if they weren't done, where is all the personnel? Where are the police? Where's the military? Where's the fire department? Where's FEMA? Where are all the people that they hired? The National Guard. Where are they? They should be still walking through the streets. There should be cars. They should be active. Nothing is active. Nothing at all besides this guy and his drone and that little white car that we seen on the road. That's it. Okay? Now he put this out. It says September 17th. That was yesterday, Sunday. But if they weren't done, you mean to tell me everybody took a break at the same time? But let's continue. This is insane. Look at how they just cleaned everything. And I knew it in my gut. On a couple of my last videos, I said it, that the people are going to come back. And I did say they were going to clean it out and leave it like a parking lot. So I will admit, you know.
So this is just about the...
I over-exaggerated a bit on that. But, I mean, this is probably just as worse. You know, to clean up the area, and when the people come back, all they're going to see is piles of what used to belong to them. Okay? Not knowing if any artifacts made it, you know, family heirlooms could have survived, just anything. So when they let the natives back in, if they let them back in, which I hope they do, and I'm sure, you know, 99% of the population, you know, is praying for the same thing, what are they going to come back to? They're going to come back to just piles of debris. You know, the mental, how can I say, the mental hoop that they're going to have to, you know, get through. Because I know it would just devastate me. If I had to go back and see the place that I had as a home, and if I had a loved one that I believe perished in that, and all I see is a pile of debris, I would feel so violated, you know, on the highest personal level that anybody, you know, because it's like, what did you do to my property? You know, where is everything? Was there anything left? In other words, it's like they're leaving them, they're not giving them any type of closure. And in my opinion, that's just the work of wicked people, man, to do that. To take it upon themselves and not even let the residents, the natives, in to say, you know, give us a hand with this, so like that, you know, you can. I mean, I know a lot of people will be devastated, but people are smart enough to say, I can't do it, I can't go in there, you do it. And then there's going to be people that have very strong hearts and say, no, I need to do this. I need to go in and do this. But they took all that away. You know, they took all that away. And it's a total disservice. Okay? It's wrong. It's very shameful. I blame the governor, the police chief, everybody, every politician that has a part of this, every higher up that has a part of this, whoever had a part of this. The time for saying, well, people were just doing their jobs, I'm sorry, I would have quit this job. Whatever position I had, I would have quit. Like I said, the only one that did the right thing, not the right thing in the sense that I'm siding with him, but the only one that did the right thing to walk away was I keep mispronouncing his name, Andaya or something like that, the guy that was in charge of the sirens. He did the right thing because he knew he was wrong. That's why he resigned the very next day. Okay? And then it said due to health reasons. But you'd have to be on a different level of inhumane to continue to do your job, like you would say, and then close your eyes at night. Now, maybe a lot of these people that were part of this, maybe they'll start speaking up. I don't know. That would be good if they have information that they're trying to suppress, that they start speaking out. Will I hold my breath on it? I don't know if I will. Something this massive, like I said, could only be with military intervention, okay, coordinated, and then coupled with FEMA, of course. And this is the result that you get. But let's continue.
Maximum range for my drone. So from here, I turned around and headed back to change batteries. Okay, so this starts a new flight, and this time we're gonna head north towards Safeway from my neighborhood, Kahoma Village.
Now I'll stop right here because in my last video, this is where we went. Was basically towards the front where that waterway was at. He basically went on a big circle. He's just coming back up this way. But if you look at the last video, you'll see the difference. Okay, I mean, look at that. Clean lot, just piles of stuff, clean. I mean, it's just so heartbreaking to see this. Now the next question is going to be, where do they go from here? What happens from here? What questions are they going to be able to answer when the people start going back in? Or will the governor pull rank, and instead of letting people in, then they go in with major companies to start picking up all these piles of debris and really leave the place like an empty parking lot? Okay? The police chief yesterday dropped the death count from 115 to 97. Meanwhile, there's still people talking about loved ones missing. New stories are coming out. And I use those stories as a reference and timeline because just in one in particular, if you look at a couple of my last videos, a few videos ago, there was a woman who said that the death count was at 115, but they had found one of the vendors from her job the day before she did that video. So that would make it 116. And if it's not 116, instead of 97, it should be 98. You see what I'm saying, people? This was a major evidence cleanup. And they're trying to suppress it, and they want everybody to believe that no, what they say is true, what we see and we hear is not. But they want us to just hear them without seeing and believe them. That's how they work. But more is going to come out. I truly believe that. Especially when something is done in a very wicked manner. Okay? It will be exposed in some way, shape, or form. Okay? In some way, shape, or form, more truth is going to come out. And I pray that people will be held responsible and accountable. And I'm not saying some low-level staff member, okay? Somebody that forgot to flip the switch, and turn, no. I'm talking about all the major faces that have been lying to us, lying to the people in Hawaii. Because it has to stop. It has to stop. The corruption has to stop. And it will. It will. But anyway, I'll stop it right here, and I'll leave the link in the description so you guys can view the rest of it, without my thoughts, and you come up with your own ideas, And don't forget to visit this man's channel. Show him some love. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Give it a thumbs up. Pass it around. Let's keep the awareness going. Again, I want to thank all the new subscribers on here and on Rumble. That's where you can find me also. Same content. Maybe some things are different. But could sure use some love on that platform also. I'm True Outlaw Patriot. And remember, stay vigilant. Keep praying. And keep praying for each other. Peace.